Today is the 9th of March 2018. Feet owner. If you don't like where you are, change it. You're not a tree. It's, I think a very funny day quote. And I want to move on to how was my day yesterday. I'm trying to load also my notes. Bear with me while I'm doing this. In the meantime, I can already tell that I had a super nice day in the park. I spent really most of my day in Humboldthain together with Elena, and we had I would say, pretty awesome thinking session. And it was again this mixture of it doesn't at all feel like work, and funnily even when it comes to her, she called it was a talk on drugs without drugs, and that's actually how it felt, because it was really it has this kind of I thought it had this out of the norm experience that I cherish very much, because it was consciousness expanding in a way, and I happen to not have or I didn't in the past create for myself these opportunities or experience these opportunities where I'm connected on so many different levels, and that felt very awesome, and I definitely want to have more of these moments, and that was a big part. I also unboxed my new tablet, and I'm very happy with it. I already did the first experiments with it, and yesterday in the evening then I tried out and did my first drawings. So what else do I want to share about yesterday? Currently I don't have a good enough connection, as it seems, on my tablet to load my previous day. But from what I know, I also did some inventory decluttering, and right now Corinna is not in Berlin, and for me I have a lot of calmness and a lot of time for myself, where I'm doing just doing pondering and not anything else really. And I enjoy that whenever I put something somewhere, it's exactly the same place, small details, and it's things like in the kitchen. Also now I'm really noticing that she's not here on a small scale, because there's less dishes to wash and things like that. My mattress I yesterday rolled over, and and I really like having this experience of this double bed. I think that's something that I like, although I was also a little wary when it comes to how is she perceiving all of this right now. And that's also something that I talked about with Elena, that I think that I have a very different perception right now than she does. And what else do I want to share about my day yesterday? I would really like to have my notes, but somehow the Wi-Fi doesn't extend to here right now. And then I'll instead skip to the part where what will I be focusing on today. I want to continue the decluttering of my room and my things, and the second thing, or more concretely, I have still one more bag of clothes, which are my summer clothes. They are in the keep category, and I want to get them ready and into my cupboard now, and maybe remove some other unnecessary things, and also tidy up the room a bit. So it's not just the decluttering and categorizing, but it's really now also more of a tidying that I want to be doing today. And apart from that, I want to continue with my tax form, and more specifically here, I also want to ask someone some newbie questions, because it's the first time that I'm doing this here as for my tax ID filing, and I think there are some things that I might want to consider, especially some that I don't know of yet. And I already did some research yesterday, and the way I see it, it looks pretty very more or less clear or simple, but I might be mistaken, and then I want to find that out retrospectively. That's why I prefer to do that in advance. All right, so I'm giving my tablet the last chance to load my entry, and to maybe append one or two things from my notes. And in the meantime, I can also share that I had a very nice alone time evening yesterday, and I cherished that. And it was a bit later yesterday than normally with my evening routine. And I also noticed that these daily check-in videos here are, because I want to keep them short, which I'm now breaching a bit, I want to also, maybe throughout the day, if there's some other things on my mind that I really want to express, then I will not confine myself but to just post these check-in videos here on my channel, but instead also want to have some things that I want to express, just share them with you guys as well. And because also when it comes to relationship, that's something where I don't want to get started, partially I don't want to get started here on the daily check-in, because it is not part of my reflection process of what happened yesterday. Neither is it part of what I want to focus on today, but it's still something that I like to ponder about right now. So for these things, I want to have create a separate room for it. This is why I'm dropping this here, and maybe just do a separate video on things that I have on my mind that I want to share my perspective on, but I'm not yet certain if this makes sense. Anyway, that's it from my side. I'm looking forward to this day. There's also another game session coming up, and more co-productivity, this time together with Elena, and later on, after that, I'm looking forward to have another session of this board game that I borrowed before handing it back to the owner, or at least the person in charge. That's it from my side. If there's any feedback, I'd love to hear it, and I wish you a legendary day as always, and I hope to see you soon.